Hey YouTube, Bob here. In this 10-year anniversary edition of Nintendo Unboxed, we're going to be revisiting the original US NTSC Game Boy Color. If you're interested in seeing my original unboxing for this handheld, you can click the link to that in the description for this video. So here we do have the purple, or I believe it was called grape, color variant of the Game Boy Color, released in the United States in November of 1998. And by that point, I was a freshman in college. I kind of lost interest in Nintendo and video games by that point, having sold my Nintendo 64 to a friend who was interested in it the year prior. But I do remember that all my friends were really excited about Ocarina of Time, that had also just been released, I think that same month. I think that was released in November, or at least the fall or early winter of 1998. So that was a great time to be a Nintendo fan, even though I wasn't particularly partaking of the festivities at that point. But I have since, of course, caught up. But I've always been more of a console guy rather than a handheld guy, so that was another reason why this really wasn't on my radar. But this came out at the end of 1998, and of course with a much improved, at least as far as color goes, screen. It was still very hard to see. You had to have a good viewing angle and good ambient light. So for the most part, in my opinion, the color experience was kind of sullied by all those restrictions and criteria you had to have met in order to be able to see the screen in the first place. But it was a technological breakthrough, at least for Nintendo, to have a color screen. And to kind of celebrate that, Nintendo did release the Game Boy Color in each one of the colors of the Color logo here. We have kind of a pink, purple, green, yellow, and turquoise. So at launch you could get the Game Boy Color in each one of those 5 colors there. There would be variants released later on as well. But as you can see, this looks very, very much like the Game Boy Pocket, which I have right here. And we can do a little bit of a size comparison to that. But something that was kind of new with the Game Boy Color is they really wanted to stick with the Game Boy branding. So that is pretty much the same as it had always been here in the United States, with that gray or silver band. But what they added to kind of catch consumers' eyes at retail was making it kind of like a hologram. There was kind of a sheen or sparkle to it. And some of the game boxes too, there were variants. There were ones that had kind of this holograph type of look, and then there were ones that were just, you know, matte or flat paint on the box. So I always thought that was kind of an interesting variation. On this first long panel here, we've got the Game Boy Color branding, along with some screenshots of Link's Awakening and a Wario title. On the bottom, we've got just the Game Boy Color branding. And then on the second long side, in addition to the security tag here, which is blocking the screenshot of one of the games, again we've got Wario and Link's Awakening. Several games would be re-released on the Game Boy Color, such as Link's Awakening DX, and really did enjoy that upgrade as far as the color graphics went. And then here on this top panel, we've just got the Game Boy Color logo. Game Boy Color, portable color fun. Game Boy, the world's most popular portable video game system, offers endless entertainment for players of all skill levels. The new compact Game Boy Color system travels anywhere. Enjoy the library of over 450 original games in enhanced color, or play new Game Boy Color games that are brilliant in color. Escape into a world of exciting color. So color, color, color. Nintendo wanted you to understand that color was the name of this new game. And yes, this was backwards compatible with all Game Boy games and had a limited palette of color added to it. But there were also Game Boy Color specific games that came in a black cartridge rather than the standard gray. Full color screen display. Play over 450 games, action, adventure, puzzle, sports, and role-playing in enhanced color. Convenient compact size. built-in infrared communication port, batteries included, which I bought this particular Game Boy Color used but complete. So this is one of my handhelds for which I do not have the original batteries, which may not be a bad thing. If you've been watching my unboxing videos of my consoles, my handheld consoles that is, you'll see that the batteries have started to corrode, which is just going to happen with age. They're never meant to last forever. But I do not have the original batteries here. But something that was interesting that they pointed out is built-in infrared communication port. So no longer a physical cable like the video link for the original Game Boy or the game link for the Game Boy Pocket. Now it's handled via infrared port. So let's take a look and see what's inside the Game Boy Color. You can see the Game Boy Color here itself with the serial number. I've explained before that when you buy it at retail, they scan this to get the product, and then they also scan the serial number to match it up with your purchase for return purposes. So opening up here, we see inside we've got the little compartment for the Game Boy Color, and then any documentation is kind of tucked in between that compartment and the side of the box. So let's let gravity do its job here and get the Game Boy Color out. And we'll see if it'll do the same work for us with all of the documentation. Looks like it will. Is that all of it? Yes. And if I had the batteries, they would be either down one of these sides here. Let's take a look and see the documentation that we have. We have a Nintendo Power subscription. Hungry? Great gaming information doesn't come in a can. A subscription to Nintendo Power is all you need. So still pushing the Nintendo Power subscription here. Seeing lots of N64 references at this time here. This is one of the newer versions of that Nintendo Power subscription we've been seeing in lots of my other videos. Still no way to order online yet here in 1998. This looks check, money order, Visa, or MasterCard. You could call them or you could fill this out and send it in. So still no online ordering, even in 1998. Then the other thing we got is the Consumer Precautions poster, which we really don't pay any attention to. We know how to use these things safely. More of a legality thing for Nintendo. And then Game Boy Color. Here is the instruction, not booklet. This, much like one of the other portables that we took a look at, is more of a fold-out poster rather than a booklet here, with numbered steps. Introduction to the Game Boy Color video game system. Thank you for purchasing the Nintendo Game Boy Color video game system. The Game Boy Color features a highly reflective thin film transistor, TFT, color liquid crystal display, up to 56 colors out of a palette of 32,000, infrared communication with other Game Boy Color video game systems. Note, a few monochrome Game Boy games may not work properly when used with the Game Boy Color system. That's interesting. That's something I didn't know. I'm not sure what those games are or why that would be the case they didn't work. Please read both the following instructions and, of course, the separate consumer information and precautions booklet before attempting to operate the Game Boy Color. If, after reading all instructions, you still have questions, please call the Consumer Assistance Hotline. So here we've got the list of components in Step 2, which should be familiar to anybody who's used a Game Boy before. Pretty much the exact same as the original Game Boy. Description of components listed above, how everything is going to work. This one actually did have wrist strap attachment. I don't believe they originally supplied you with a wrist strap, but you could have one, probably similar to the Wii Remote wrist straps. Installing the batteries here, it looks like we need 2 AA batteries. So kind of up from that 2 AAA battery treatment that we saw with the Game Boy Pocket. Need a little bit more power to get that color screen to work. Then moving up to Step 5 here, do not use the Game Boy rechargeable battery pack. We took a look at that in one of my other unboxing videos. So yeah, long gone are the days where you could use this accessory. I even believe with the Game Boy Pocket they said don't use that anymore. No longer compatible since the power input had changed. About Game Boy Color game packs. 3 different types here. There are 3 types of Game Boy game packs that will work with the Game Boy Color. The original Game Boy packs, which will work with both the Game Boy Color using 4 to 10 colors and with the original Game Boy and Game Boy Pocket systems using 4 shades of gray. or green. Type 2, dual mode Game Boy game packs, which will work with both the Game Boy Color using up to 56 colors out of a palette of 32,000, and with the original Game Boy and Game Boy Pocket systems using 4 shades of gray. And then finally, Type 3, special full color games that will work only on the Game Boy Color. See individual Game Boy game pack packaging for additional information on the Game Boy Color features included with each game. Then finally, using the Game Boy Color video game system, how to insert cartridges and turn on the system, and then how to change the screen color on original Game Boy game packs is here on step 8. There are 12 different color palettes that can be selected when using original Game Boy packs. To change the color palette, first insert a game pack and turn on the power as described in section 7 above. When the Game Boy logo appears, press the control pad and button combination shown below for the desired color palette. So different shades of blue, dark blue, gray, green, dark green, and reverse or inverted, I guess. So different button combinations to get those. And then on the back side here, step 9, using 2-player mode, Game Link play using the Game Link cable. So, looks like we still do have access to the cable here because they would want to make things backwards compatible, but 2 Game Boy Color systems could communicate via the infrared blaster, which we'll take a look at. So Game Boy games that feature a 2-player mode can be played using the Game Boy Universal Game Link cable set. The set includes a cable to connect your Game Boy Color to any other Game Boy Color, Game Boy Pocket, or Game Boy printer, plus an adapter to allow connection to the original Game Boy. See illustrations 6 and 7 below. So they're going to tell you here how to insert those cables into each Game Boy, per the port that it had on it. And then finally, using 2-player mode gameplay using the communication port. On the top of the Game Boy Color is an infrared communication port. This allows the transmission of information between 2 Game Boy Color systems that are using Game Boy game packs that include the infrared communication feature. So a lot of criteria to meet here. It's got to be a compatible game, and you need to use 2 Game Boy Colors. The triangular marks on the front of the Game Boy Color systems above the display must be aligned and pointed towards each other. The infrared connection will be more reliable if both Game Boy Color systems are placed on a stable surface, such as a table. So you kind of had to face them head to head there. When using the communication port feature, please note the following. No more than 2 Game Boy Color systems can be used at one time. Do not use in direct sunlight because the bright light will interfere with the infrared transmission. The lens cover over the communication port must be kept clean and free from scratches. Do not place tape or material such as stickers over the communication port. Do not place any object between the communication ports. Do not use around any other infrared devices such as a TV, VCR remote, because they can interfere with each other. If the batteries get low on power, the communication feature may not work properly. Replace the batteries if the power indicator LED starts to become dim. So we'll take a look at that port once we look at the hardware. But first, finishing up here, we've got troubleshooting, a list of a couple things that may happen and their solutions, and then warranty and service information, and then the parts list and order form, where you could fill this out and mail it in along with your check, or call the number and use a Visa or MasterCard to purchase any one of these items here. So that is the instruction poster for the Game Boy Color. Let's take a look at the hardware itself of this purple or grape-colored Game Boy Color. Let's do a bit of a size comparison here. It looks like the Game Boy Color is quite a bit taller than the Game Boy Pocket, just like the Game Boy Light was. We took a look at that earlier. If we flip over on the side here, we've got the power now instead of the contrast dial. The power has been moved from the top of the system now to this right panel. On the left panel, we've got the EXT port and the volume knob, or volume dial that is. On the bottom panel, just like the Game Boy Pocket, we've got the DC in and we've got the audio out for headphones. On the front of the system, you can see that the screen on the Game Boy Color is a little bit smaller. A little bit of a sacrifice there from the Game Boy Pocket and the Game Boy Light that had a larger screen. So in order to get the color, a little bit of a smaller screen there. But as far as the controls, you got your D-pad, select and start, and B and A buttons. Like the Game Boy Light, I had noted that they stopped silk screening or painting the letters on the panel of the handheld here in favor of embossing it directly in the plastic, which I think is a cost-saving measure. Both of these do have the single speaker here, the stereo sound through one speaker. And then on the back we've got the open cartridge port and the serial number barcode, along with the information as far as the model number and precautions on this sticker here, and the Nintendo Authorized Repair Center sticker. So unlike the Game Boy Light, which I do have here, this is the one with the backlit screen, the battery cover isn't contoured to match each of the specific batteries here. You can see they kind of bubble out in the shape of those AA cell batteries. Here it's just kind of a nice fluid curve, but you do need to put the two AA batteries in just like you would with the Game Boy Light, whereas the Game Boy Pocket used two AAA cells. And that would make for a little bit of a smaller form factor on the back there. If we put all three of these together, you can see the difference there. So got one more panel to take a look at here on the top of the Game Boy Color. Gone, like I said, is the power, which has been moved to the right hand side here, and here you see that RF port for communication with another Game Boy Color. And then here is that triangle they were saying that needed to align. If this were a Game Boy Color that also had a port, you would have to have them match up, preferably sitting on a table like they mentioned in the instruction manual there. So there you have the Game Boy Color. I hope you enjoyed this unboxing video, and will stay tuned to World of Nintendo for lots more like it, especially those in the 10-year anniversary of the Nintendo Unboxed series playlist, in which I'm reshooting several of my earlier videos that don't have the best video quality. So I'll have those coming per the calendar that's been on the screen, and I hope you'll stay tuned for those as well as all of the other content that I'll have for you here at World of Nintendo. So until that next one, take care.